Ladies and gentlemen, the dollar is shrinking. Not because America is collapsing, but because the rest of the world is finally asking why should we keep using it at all.
The US dollar, once unchallenged, now finds itself under pressure.
The US dollar is facing a backlash. The forefront of this is BRICS. That's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa.
BRICS was set up to degenerate our dollar. And that's okay if they want to play that game, but I can play that game too. So anybody that's in BRICS is getting a 10% charge.
Have you ever wondered why only US dollars is used when countries trade oil, buy weapons, or even pay for international education? It's not because the dollar is magical, it's because the system was built that way. Let's first understand what is this system, why BRICS wants new system, and third, how does it affect a common man like you and me. After World War II, the world needed financial stability. In 1944, countries met in a small town called Bretton Woods and agreed all currencies would be linked to the US dollar and the dollar would be backed by gold. For example, if an Indian trader wanted oil from Iran, he would first exchange rupees with RBI and then return RBI would pay dollars. This dollars is used to pay Iran. And now RBI could go to the US anytime and convert those excess dollars they initially had into gold at a fixed rate, generally $35 per ounce of gold. And that was Bretton Woods system. Now the fundamental question is, why only dollar was chosen and not other currencies? Because after World War II, the US had nearly 2/3 of world's global reserves. You heard it right, nearly 2/3 of world's global reserves.
By the end of World War II, the United States held nearly 2/3 of the world's official gold reserves.
So the US could basically act like the world central bank.
In short, the dollar became the spine of global trade because it was as good as gold.
If everything was going right for the dollar, what's the purpose of replacing it? It's because the USA has weaponized the dollar in the name of sanctions. Sanctions are a type of mechanism for the USA to punish any country which is not in line with USA's interests. For example, Donald Trump has charged India with 25% of tariffs on exports to USA and belittled us by calling us a dead economy. A dead economy. An economy which is booming with 6.3% growth rate while your own economy is battling on a life support. This Western hypocrisy stirs the need for alternatives to dollar, and this increases the relevance of BRICS.
What is BRICS? BRICS, or Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, is a group of 5 leading emerging economies.
The group of emerging economies known as BRICS makes up more than 40% of the world's population and a quarter of the global economy.
The BRICS is trying to position itself as the voice for emerging economies and challenge Western dominance of global affairs.
China and India have experienced massive growth since the BRICS were founded in 2009 and certainly have helped them swell in importance and remain relevant on the global stage.
These emerging economies are planning to make a BRICS unified currency, which is a direct attack on dollar. And this is the exact reason why Trump had charged India with 25% of tariffs on exports to US.
Donald Trump has announced a 25% tariff on Indian goods effective August 1st. Why? Because of India's growing ties with Russia and its key role in BRICS, a bloc Trump now labels anti-American.
This BRICS unified currency will help us in circumventing the dominance of dollar. For example, if India wants to invest in Russian oil, they exchange through a BRICS currency called BRICcoin, and Russia can reinvest this BRICcoin within BRICS ecosystem. In this way, BRICS countries are no longer dependent on US dollar and can transact using their own currency, making them completely immune to US sanctions. But now, in all these theatrics between the world leaders, where would a common man like you and me stand? Imagine a scenario where your phone has fallen and need to replace a screen. Before tariffs, if the cost would have been $1,500, after tariffs the same cost would be $3,000. The result? Pushing many to hold on to broken phones or pay for costly knockoffs. And not just this, let's look at second example. If you are traveling from Gachibowli to Mehdipatnam, at peak hours the Uber prices might be around $250. But after tariffs, that same Gachibowli to Mehdipatnam, Uber could easily jump from $250 to around $400, a 60% increase, thanks to higher fuel costs and pricier imported spare parts. What can we learn from this power politics? Even if you are not a banker or a policymaker, the leaders you choose will decide your life in ways unimaginable. Therefore, it's important for you to prioritize candidates with long-term planning and economic vision, not duffers like Donald J. Trump. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have come across this far, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you.